want me to ask again?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you had positive, when you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, walking the halls, in class late, whatever, and you've had a good experience with a teacher telling you to do something you're supposed to be doing, right, to get to class, what led it to be a good experience? Like, why did you listen to that teacher? What was positive about that exchange?
The way they come up to you, like their tone is like it's very like not aggressive. They would be like, oh hey, you've been out in the hallways for too long, like should go back to class. And it's like hopeful because I'm like, okay, yeah, I should go back to class. And unlike other teachers, they'd be like, you, why are you outside? Like, what are you doing? It's like, why are you coming at me like this? It's like, I didn't do nothing to you. Why are you yelling at me early in the morning?
When you've been in an argument or confrontation with a teacher, what has helped calm the situation down?
Well, the times that it has happened to me, I would usually take a deep breath and then count down from 4 to 0, and then I would try to speak to them nicely.
Well, has the teacher done anything to help the situation?
No, they would still continue, but I would still control, like my tone of voice. But usually, if they're not doing the same thing as well, then it really doesn't help me either.
All right. So when you've been in a confrontation with the teacher, maybe they asked you to do something you don't want to do, whatever it is. Why do you feel like you got to that point?
Because usually after I say my point of view, they'll still continue to go back and forth with me and keep it going after I'm just like what do you want me to do? It's just end the conversation and just leave it, but they keep running their mouth and just don't stop.
Okay. So then what can a teacher do to de-escalate that situation?
To just give me my space, or to just give me a second to calm down before they keep the conversation going, because it's just gonna escalate my anger.
All right, so when you've been with the teacher, you are getting in a confrontation with the teacher, maybe the situation's getting a little bit confrontational. Why do you feel like it got to that point between you two?
Maybe there's a miscommunication or understanding, because usually because this happened 2 weeks ago, and I was doing my work and there was miscommunication, and I was trying to explain to the teacher what happened. And usually I think maybe we should take a breather, for a second, pause everything, and then once I'm not how it's just take a minute, and then we can explain it so things don't lead up to the point where it gets complicated and that student gets in trouble for something.
Okay.
All right, so you said you've seen some conflict between teachers and students before. What do you think led to those types of interactions?
I think sometimes the student can be disrespectful towards the teacher, and then the teacher would act up. But I think that if the teacher explains their side more to the student might understand their side, and then he might calm down. But yeah, I don't think you should argue with another teacher if you don't know their side fully. So yeah, that's it.
Is there anything else you feel like teachers can do when they're involved in that kind of conflict with a student, just to kind of minimize the situation?
If a student feels like the teacher's voice is elevated towards them, that might get the student to act up and then talk back in a more aggressive manner. So I think that teachers should have a calm voice towards a student, and they should just try to calm them down if they're really mad, but just talk in a very nice, calm voice.
All right. Have you ever seen a teacher and a student interacting where it feels like it's kind of a heated conversation?
Yeah.
What do you think maybe the teacher could do to help that situation out?
Talk nicely and not be so blunt.
All right, so have you ever gotten into an argument or a conversation with a teacher where it felt like it was kind of like a heated exchange?
Yeah.
And to get out of that situation, what do you do to get out of that situation? And what do you think a teacher could do to make that situation better?
To get away from the situation, I go to my counselor or to a trusted adult, and the teacher could maybe speak to the student and work things out. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, so if you've been in a conversation with a teacher where it feels like it's getting a little bit heated and everybody's getting a little upset, what do you think that teacher can do to maybe help you calm down or just kind of diffuse the situation?
Probably like if it's a conversation that like doesn't need to happen at the moment, it can like wait till later and you guys can talk about it later, and just to calm everybody down.
Just to say, hey, we got to talk about this, but we can do it later instead of maybe doing it in front of other students or whatever. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, so if you're in the hallway and maybe you're doing something that is not what you should be doing, maybe you have your hood on in the hallway, or maybe you have your backpack and you should have put it away, and the teacher asks you to, hey, you need to do this. What makes you respect that adult enough to do what you're told? In those situations, what makes it easy for you to listen to that instruction?
It depends on the person. If they like, let's say if they come up to you yelling like, take your hood off, put your book bag away, I'm not gonna listen. But if they come up to me nicely, then I'm gonna listen to them, because they approach me very nicely and calm. So yeah, I'm gonna listen to the nice teacher instead of the one that's yelling. So,
Thanks.
yeah.